What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 10 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are once again using this Calyrex team that I made for my Series 10 rental teams. Make sure to check that out with rules for the giveaway. Also a reminder that commenting on this video does count for that giveaway. So looking at my opponent's team, we see a Xerneas, a Regieleki, Weavile, Tornadus, Serena, and Landorus. So my opponent does have access to speed control with Tornadus, so that is definitely something to be wary of. I think Wheezing overall is a really big pick. The big thing to be afraid of is going to be this Landorus, but we could do Calyrex Swampert. I think Calyrex Swampert isn't. Calyrex Wheezing. Right? I think that's not the worst idea. I feel like we definitely want Volcarona just due to the fact that it can handle Xerneas really well. It handles Serena, it can handle Weavile, and then probably Swampert, right? Swampert can deal with Landorus well. Regieleki probably not doing too much, and Urshifu, I think, given the fact that we are seeing a Xerneas, I probably want to avoid it. I think it is a nice option, though, because of the fact that it can, It can survive a hit with Focus Sash, but I don't think that that's going to make too much of a difference. So let's kind of see what's going to happen here. Regieleki would be the scariest lead, as we are going to see double Genie. So this is actually pretty good for us, right? Because we have guaranteed damage onto both of them, right? And they can't set up Tailwind because of the fact that we have Wheezing, and we will be able to get off a big hit first. So you can't really attack with with Landorus. So what we can do is we can just go for an Astral Barrage with a Protect on Wheezing. I do expect the Focus Sash. If the Focus Sash is on Tornadus, the obvious play then is going to be to protect the Landorus and go for the Tailwind. But we can't really stop that. But we are seeing no Protect, interesting enough, because Wheezing did go first. Oh, it's Scarf Landorus. Very good to know. We are seeing the Scarf come out, but we are going to be able to just go for a big Astral Barrage. Hopefully at least knock out. Wow, we don't even pick up either knockout. So this is what we in the industry call bad news bears. I'm going to go for another I could actually just okay, so we can actually protect the let's go for another Astral Barrage. No, because you just double up into Calyrex. So we are going to actually protect Calyrex and then make a swap into Volcarona. Because Volcarona will give us the Rage Powder option. We might have to sacrifice it, which is definitely going to be less than ideal. But we know that Landorus is locked in, and having the redirection for Astral Barrage, I think, will be huge, right? Because I do expect at least one attack to go into Calyrex. We are going to see the Earth Power come out. I hope Volcarona can live. Yeah, Volcarona takes it very comfortably, as we are going to see a Fling come out from Tornadus. So now 90 doubled is 180. So unfortunately, I don't think we can live. I don't know if Fling will KO. We go for an Astral Barrage, and we go for a Rage Powder. Landorus has to go first. Do we just Heat Wave? I'm gonna Rage Powder. I don't expect the Volcarona to live the Earth Power. I mean, it's not gonna live the Earth Power. The question is, am I going to live the Fling? Yep, Volcarona will go down. If we live the Fling, we're in a really good spot. But I'm guessing. Oh, they went for an Air Slash. Interesting choice. So we take that very, very comfortably, as we are going to be able to connect this Air Slash or this Astral Barrage for a double knockout, and then we can pretty comfortably bring out Wheezing to try and deal with this incoming Xerneas. I think it still is going to be very scary overall because of the fact that there is this Tailwind up. But, I mean, Calyrex is low enough where there might honestly just be a desire just to go straight for an attack instead of going for a Geomancy, as we are going to see Xerneas with Weavile in the last slot. So Weavile gets Sucker Punch, so that's definitely something to be weary of, but I think Swampert is in a good position to deal with Weavile. So there's one turn of Tailwind. I want to protect... Yeah, I want to protect Calyrex, and I want to Sludge Bomb. Do I want to Sludge Bomb or do I want to taunt Xerneas? I could taunt. I'm going to go for the taunt because I feel like you're going to just attack into Calyrex, right? Or you're just going to protect with Xerneas. I think that makes a ton of sense. We are going to see the protect come out from Calyrex. I do expect to see a Throat Chop. Interesting. So you're going to go for a Throat Chop into Calyrex. Unfortunately, we are going to fail the taunt because of the protect. I'm going to go for an Astral Barrage. Does Weavile not get Sucker Punch? That's the only reason I could think you don't go for it. Because now we are faster. It looks like it doesn't. And so I think at +2, Calyrex should be able to easily... Yep, we are going to just pick up the double KO. I mean, they have Focus Sash, but at this point, you are going to knock out my Calyrex, and then Weezing will be able to pick up the last knockout for the game. So definitely a really close one. I was shocked to see that both Genies actually survived Astral Barrage from Calyrex. That was not what I expected to happen, but we are just going to be able to get off a Sludge Bomb to take this one home. So I actually really want to see if my opponent's team was available. Sorry. I also think the play to protect Calyrex, I mean not Calyrex, to protect Xerneas was interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Because you are staring down this Weezing, which is putting on a ton of pressure, and I think Weezing is such a good answer. Yes! Okay, great. So we are seeing a standard Power Herb Xerneas. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I always am very coughing in the morning. Coughing and wheezing. We are going to see a fairly bulky Regieleki in double screens. I think that's interesting. I'm actually shocked to not see it. Focus Sash on the Weavile. Yeah, no Sucker Punch. I thought Weavile got it. I guess, I mean, I very well could be wrong about that. King's Rock Tornadus. Interesting. So you want to go for the flinch there. Air Slash Taunt, Fling, Tailwind, max HP. So that's actually good to know that I cannot KO a max HP. Tornadus, Serena, pretty standard. And then Sheer Force, yeah. Choice Scarf, Landorus, Modest, max speed. Yep, it lets you outspeed. And then Grass Knot, yeah, for Ogre. So very cool. Great first match, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is another Calyrex team. This time it is going to be Regieleki with Entei, Whimsicott, Calyrex, Araquanid, and Mineshaw. So this is scary for a lot of reasons. I think Urshifu is going to be huge for so many reasons. Swampert is nice. Regieleki, you know what? Regieleki has good options, but the problem is I want to bring too many things. Weezing, I mean, there is an argument to not bring Weezing. What? I don't want to lead Regieleki, though, because of Mineshaw. Because of the fact that Mineshaw has Fake Out, and we obviously cannot stop the Fake Out. Calyrex or Shifu? I could do Calyrex or Shifu with Aleki and Swampert in the back. Weezing, probably not too much. I do want Swampert to deal with Entei primarily. It also has spread support. It deals with Regieleki. Let's try this. I haven't been bringing... I feel like I use Weezing a lot, and I think it makes sense. Weezing is just such a good option. But overall, I think it is definitely going to be important to use the other Pokemon on this team. And I think, honestly, Weezing doesn't make sense into this team. It is nice to try and stop a Whimsicott, but, like... Alright, we are looking at... Okay, so we see a Calyrex with Whimsicott versus Calyrex or Shifu. I think... What? You could Moonblast into... This is tricky, right? You can Moonblast into Calyrex, or into Urshifu. I wish I had led with Regieleki. Swap out to Alecki. Sucker Punch into Calyrex. I'm gonna go for Protect on Urshifu. I can't really risk the Moonblast coming out from Whimsicott, because you can very easily just Moonblast, or... Yeah, I expected to see the switch out from Calyrex, and we are going to see Entei come out. So Entei, definitely very scary for sure, but we do have Swampert, which should be able to deal with pretty much anything Entei can throw out. It does obviously have to be weary of the burn from... what is it called? It has to be weary of burn from the Sacred Fire, but that's still, like, not the worst thing ever, especially now that we have Alecki next to it, which can offer a lot of support. So I do expect to see what is it called? A Snarl come out this turn, as we can swap into Swampert. Swampert does have Wide Guard. I'm not really the biggest fan of bringing it out quite this early, because it's probably going to be a Sacred Fire, right? I mean, you choose, right? Do you want Sacred Fire for the Urshifu, which we do see the Moonblast a little bit more than I would have liked, as, yep, you're going to double up, into the Alecki. Alecki is able to take that. We do get the burn, obviously very expected, given, what is it called? Given Sacred Fire, as we are able to get the speed drop onto Entei. Entei's base, what is Entei? If Entei's base, oh no, because we only outspeed Calyrex, we are not actually max speed. Although, as I was going to say, we can potentially outspeed, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I think instead, we still go for another Electroweb, just in the event that we are faster. We aren't going to outspeed this Wimmy, but we do have, obviously, a couple things going for us. And looking at my opponent's team, I think High Horsepower is the better option in the event that you choose to switch out into... Oh, you just have Extreme Speed. That makes sense. Okay, so we are going to see the Extreme Speed. We are going to have to take another Moonblast. And I don't see how we can really... Swampert is going to hold on pretty comfortably. We missed the High Horsepower, which is also not the most ideal. Yeah, I think at this point there's really not much we can do, because of the fact that they still have one turn of Tailwind left, and they can just very easily set it up again. And we unfortunately cannot deal enough damage into this Whimsicott to stop it. So I still think we go for a Protect. I think we go for we could Yawn into Entei. We go for a High Horsepower. I think you double up into the Swampert slot, because you expect to see, yeah, just because you want to pick up that knockout, and then you do go for the Moonblast. So it makes sense. I should have attacked with Urshifu. I think it was definitely a really obvious Protect, because now the Tailwind is going to peter out. We are going to be able to bring up Calyrex, but they have Calyrex. We can... I say we go for the Astral Barrage, because you might not go for the Tailwind. Right? We go for the Wicked Blow into Entei, and we go for the Astral Barrage. My only hope is that you try and go for a Moonblast, or you don't. I was like, you go for the Moonblast to try and stop me. We are going to see... Wow, we are still faster than Entei, but probably Assault Vest. Yeah, that damage looks like Assault Vest. Probably a Snarl into Calyrex, or probably a Sacred Fire into the Urshifu, as we are going to see the Sacred Fire come out. Yeah, that is going to... We don't get the burn. So that's actually really good. And this is props to bulky Urshifu here. We're able to take that super, super well to the point where I think we can actually live another Astral Barrage. So even if you bring out your Calyrex, like we can take a hit from +1 Calyrex, or from neutral Calyrex. As we are going to see Mind Chow, unfortunately. I do expect Mind Chow to have Feint. Yeah, that's so hard. Do you have Feint, or do you have... What do I do? If we protect... What? If we protect and they faint, I think we can still be in a decent spot. If you, I mean, I feel like Fake Out makes more sense. There's no protect from them. So let's see. If it's faint, not the best. But I do expect that. We are going to see Fake Out come out, so that's pretty great. I'm expecting Calyrex to go for a protect the subsequent turn. So we can, what? No, that, how many turns of Tailwind are left? There's two turns of Tailwind. So what we can do is we go for a double protect with Urshifu, expecting to see their Calyrex protect this turn, and we go for an Expanding Force onto Mind Chow, which will bring Mind Chow down to the Sash. Yeah, we are going to see the protect, so we need to hit this double protect. We don't get it, which is unfortunate. So we do lose our Shifu, but this is fine because what will happen now is we have to play the speed tie game. We know that they're not scarfed due to the fact that we just saw protect. So this Expanding Force will be able to knock Mind Chow down to its Sash, which, yeah. Okay, so the Sash is on Mind Chow. We know that the Life Orb is on Calyrex, so we have to protect, and then we play the speed tie game. We do this. We risk the speed tie. Their Calyrex can go for a protect this turn. Mind Chow, as far as I know, doesn't carry any sort... I mean, yeah, because you can't feint me because of the fact that I'm Ghost type. So we are going to risk it all on a speed tie, which is always how you want to go. I should have actually... No, I was going to say I could have gone for a Sucker Punch, but that wouldn't have actually mattered. So, yeah, we risk it for the biscuit. Who is going to win the speed tie for all of the marbles? We know that Calyrex is not scarfed, so it can't outspeed us. We know that it doesn't have the Focus Sash, so it cannot live this hit. So we... Oh, we managed to win the speed tie. So definitely a really unfortunate spot for my opponent. Like that is one of the risks of playing Calyrex, right? It is going to be speed ties when you are playing against a mirror. And the fact that we were able to successfully stall out that Tailwind and pull that off, I think is really what helped us. And I think Urshifu surviving the hit from Entei was also incredibly powerful, because we were able to just offer so much pressure onto that Calyrex where it couldn't have done anything. Otherwise, I would have had to get like 3 protects in a row, and I don't think that is something that would have happened without being in a comfortable position versus Entei. So overall, really good game. Excited with how this team is doing, and let's just keep rocking and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is the standard Zacian team, to say the least. Zacian Incineroar with Rillaboom, Urshifu Water with Regieleki and Landorus. So unfortunately, Volcarona is in a little tricky of a spot because of Urshifu Water. Regieleki does outspeed, but we have to worry about Fake Out. Calyrex Volcarona, I think it is a really solid option. The only thing Volcarona really has to worry about is Urshifu Water. But at the same time, we can bring Swampert to help cover for that. Regieleki, I want to bring Regieleki. I really do. I feel like it's not that good. Weezing is actually just overall a solid choice, as is Urshifu, right? Urshifu deals with Incineroar, can deal with Rillaboom. Okay matchup into a lot of stuff, has priority. Regieleki, probably not. Weezing does deal with Rillaboom, but I'm gonna bring Urshifu. I think the Focus Sash can be very valuable. I think it'll really depend on what set their Urshifu is, but I'm hoping, due to the fact that I have a bulkier version of Urshifu, we can live the Surging Strike. And so the scariest lead is going to be Regieleki with Urshifu Water, as we are going to see Regieleki Rillaboom, which this isn't actually the worst thing in the world, especially because there's grassy terrain recovery, right? We know that you cannot... We know that what? We should... I want to protect Calyrex and go for a Struggle Bug. Yeah, let's do that. Let's protect Calyrex and go for... Struggle Bug or Heat Wave? Heat Wave does more and can burn the Rillaboom. Yeah, let's do that, because if we get rid of Rillaboom, Regieleki on their team becomes useless because of the fact that we have Swampert in the back. We are going to see a swap out into Incineroar, so a little less than ideal, but I think it makes sense, right? You want to pressure with Snarl. We can very easily switch out into, what is it called? Into Swampert, and then start going for Snarls and stuff like that. We are gonna unfortunately have to take an Electroweb. We do miss the Electroweb, which is a little bit unfortunate. Very good damage onto the Regieleki. And so the question is, are you going to fake out or just go for... I expect you to go just for a Snarl immediately. So I want to just swap out into Swampert and go for another Heat Wave, right? Because we know that the last thing is going to be Zacian. And so what we can do is we do have to play around with Volcarona very kind of cautiously, due to the fact that we really need Volcarona to survive, as I'm expecting to see probably a Flare Blitz, or it could be a Snarl. Snarl, I think, makes a lot of sense. And we are going to see, the Snarl come out, which is fine, because this is physical Swampert. And so now you're in an awkward position, right? Because you can't afford to switch out Incineroar, because if you switch it out, you're going to have to take a Heat Wave, and nothing you have in the back likes a Heat Wave. And at the same time, I'm threatening your Incineroar with Swampert, which is your best answer to Calyrex. So we are in a very sort of commanding position, because we can just start going for probably... No, I want to go for a high horsepower. Yeah, let's go for a high horsepower so we can hit Zacian better. And then go for a Heat Wave. They don't know I am physical. The issue now is, what is it called? Rillaboom. I did a little bit more than I would have liked it to. Yeah, because of the Snarl, we are going to do slightly less to Rillaboom. But this should be fine. I also thought that Volt Switch made contact. We're going to see Zacian switch out. So this is a pretty great spot, right? Because now we can target into Zacian with... We can double target into Zacian and stop it from doing anything. We are going to get, a ton of damage onto that. Oh, because it's a critical hit. Definitely a very unfortunate critical hit, as we are going to connect a high horsepower into this Incineroar, trigger its berry. And from this point, you have to attack into Volcarona. We are going to see the parting shot into Volcarona. Makes a lot of sense. I still wish that counted as what is it called? That counted as contact, but that's fine. Would love for the Rocky Helmet to do something. we do see the Rillaboom come out. So I feel very confident just to double up into Zacian, right? Because you're either going to fake out. You can't make a substitute at this point, so you have to attack into something. And so I want to just go for a very safe high horsepower into you, as well as a Heat Wave into both. So that way, expecting a fake out from... You have to fake out into Swampert. And even then, I have a really safe switch in from Swampert into Calyrex, as we are going to see no protect. Interesting, as you just go straight for the Behemoth Blade into Volcarona. Volcarona should hold on. Volcarona holds on, and then with the Rocky Helmet, and we get the burn, which I think we've definitely gotten a fair amount of luck, to say the least, especially given the fact that we are going to double connect with this Heat Wave. But I think even without the burn and even without the critical hit, 2 Heat Waves would have been enough to finish it off. We are going to see the Wood Hammer come out into Swampert. Swampert will go down. So we know that there is Regieleki in the back, which is still scary. But Volcarona, not Volcarona, Rillaboom just took a ton of recoil damage. So what we can do is we can bring out Calyrex pretty safely. Calyrex should... we could bring out our Shifu pretty safely. Let's bring out Calyrex. If it's Incineroar, that's fine. I do want to double protect. We are going to see Regieleki, which is definitely better. I'm pretty sure a plus or a -1 Calyrex should still outspeed. We also... we can't... I was like, we can just go for Rage Powder, but we can't do that because of it doesn't work on grass types. But Astral Barrage should be fine at this point, and then we can just protect Volcarona. Or how many turns of... There's 1 turn of Grassy Terrain. We should actually protect Calyrex and Volcarona, just with the idea that we want to stop a Grassy Glide. So in the event that they are slower, we can at least stop the extra damage, right? Because you're going to probably Thunderbolt into Calyrex and then Grassy Glide. We're going to actually see Volt Switch. So, Volt Switch into Volcarona. Interesting. Woodhammer coming out into Calyrex. Interesting given the fact that we are faster. This is probably, I'm guessing, a very, very bulky Rillaboom if you are expecting to survive from half health. So, it's probably Assault Vest, which would make sense. We can still go for... I think we still go for the Astral Barrage anyway, as well as the Struggle Buff. Let's go for the Heat Wave. We could redirect. Let's go for the Rage Powder. We have Incineroar. We do have our Shifu in the back. I want to guarantee that the Volt Switch does not go into Calyrex, because I think every little bit of residual damage matters. So we will lose Volcarona for the swap into Incineroar, but this means that we will be able to get our Shifu in without taking the Intimidate drop. And if we pick up the knockout onto Rillaboom, it's even better, because that forces us to keep this board state, whereas they could switch out to cycle the Intimidates. And let's see how much Astral Barrage is going to do. I am hoping it will pick up the knockout onto Rillaboom, but obviously they can be trained super bulky, as we are going to see. Rillaboom is going to live. We're going to see a U-turn actually come out from Rilla. So very, very interesting choice for sure. And what this does is, right, you're forced to bring out a Lecky, and we can double protect. You have Fake Out Pressure, which is really nice. We can just bring out our Shifu here. Calyrex should outspeed Incineroar. Incineroar, was low enough that I want to go for an Astral Barrage. I'm going to protect Urshifu, expecting the Fake Out, and then go for an Astral Barrage. We are going to see the Rillaboom switch out, which is actually pretty good for us, right? Because this Rillaboom now cannot survive. Incineroar is going to have to... Yeah, because Regieleki, I don't think it can KO Calyrex from this range. We do have a good amount of HP left. We are going to see a Thunderbolt come out into Urshifu. interesting spot for sure. I think that like there was no reason for me to want to protect on the. I mean, there was no reason for me to want to attack with Urshifu, given the fact that there was an Incineroar that had Fake Out. But I guess what you wanted to. What was the plan there? To try and knock out Urshifu? Or bring it down to Sash to fake out with. To fake out the subsequent turn? I'm not really sure the plan there. Maybe it was hoping that Incin would be able to clean up with Snarl, but I am at +2. So definitely, definitely an interesting choice. I think at this point we just go for a Draining Kiss, as well as a Close Combat. Obviously the Fake Out, I mean the Fake Out doesn't make sense. You probably just cancel at this point, right? Yeah. Battle was canceled. I am interested to see if the spread was available. I know that Rillaboom can live a +2 Astral Barrage, because that's what mine on the Zoopals team is trained to do. But I'm interested to see, yeah. Okay, so we don't get to see my opponent's team. I'm just taking it that they have very strong special defense investment. But a really good set of games. Really love playing with Calyrex. Would highly recommend checking out the 5 rental teams video if you haven't. Also, make sure to check out our podcast. We'll probably play one more with this team and then switch out to some of the other ones. But yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.